Pillow talk. Pillow talk, yeah. Pillow talk, pillow talk. Pillow talk, pillow talk.
Great morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this great morning? We just want to welcome you to another episode of Pillow Talk Lounge. We're your hosts. I'm James Green.
And I'm Cynthia Green. And we are founders of Marriage Built to
Yes,
Last.
and we just want to welcome you this morning. We just pray that you're having a great morning and everything is going well for you. You know, we're going to jump right in. We going to jump right in?
You can jump right in, but I'm going to circle
ahead,
back.
go ahead.
No, you
Circle
go ahead
back,
and jump right in.
Well, you know, this is January, New Year 2025. And so we always like to start out the year talking about your vision. What is your vision for this year? Maybe what is your vision for the next 5 years? We know a lot of people in 2024 may have just got married, may have, entered into a new relationship, whether it's your work, whether it's you had grandchildren, whether you had children, whether you enter into a new relationship, whatever the case may be, 2024 might have been a great year for some and might have been a trying year for others. So we like to always start off January with what is your vision for this year, for 2025? And that's what we'd like to talk about today.
Yes, so that is what we're going to talk about this morning. But let's talk about right now. So you guys, first of all, some housekeeping. Please, please, please hit the share button because honestly, there's some people on your timeline that need to hear what we're talking about. Number 2, y'all know what it is. What y'all have for breakfast this morning? You know, this used to be called Breakfast with the Greens, and we always was in the kitchen cooking or sitting eating, and so we always had breakfast with you guys. But we're still having breakfast with you. It's still breakfast time / brunch time now. But tell us what you're having for breakfast today. We kind of sort of had our usual. Was a little bit different because we're fasting this right now. So tell us what you have for breakfast, and then we are going to jump right into it. The reason why we're doing this is because, like James said, every year, for over 15 years now, James and I, well, ever since we've been married, really, so over 17 years, we've always sat down and talked about our goals for the year. What we want to do that year, where we want to go, who we want to see, what we want to do, what we would like to change or keep the same.
And I like to say, some people, they may not look at it as goals. They may just look at it as, what do I want to accomplish this year? Mm-hmm. Like Cynthia said, what do I want to do? And that's what it's all about. What do you want to do in 2025? What do you want to accomplish?
Right. So we've been doing that ever since we've been married. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, it really makes your life go somewhere. And then we've been doing it with couples for over 15 years. Mm-hmm. We probably started in, 2010, 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
Doing vision board parties with couples. And then we've had our business now almost 11 years, and we've been doing it in our business ever since. Right. And I'm actually a certified vision board facilitator. So this is something that we're passionate about because we know that in life, if you're not doing something to move forward, what are you doing? What are you doing, babe?
Moving forward.
If you're not doing something to move forward, what are you doing?
Staying the same.
That's right. You're staying the same. You're being stagnant.
And that's why we do vision board parties, because the Bible says write the vision down and make it plain so those who read it can run with it. And that's the thing. If you write it down, you can always refer back to it and check off what you have accomplished. You can have a list of things you want to accomplish, and if you have it on a board, you can always go back and say, you know what? I did accomplish this year. I did accomplish this year. And it's always satisfying, and you be able to celebrate the things that you accomplished during the year that you actually had a vision for, that you actually wrote down and said, wow, I could check that off. This is something I did accomplish.
Yeah, so we want to help you set your relationship up for huge success in 2025, but not just your relationship. When we sit down and have our goals parties, we talk about 5 key areas. And those 5 areas, and we're not going to go into them because you got to come to our vision board party
Right.
in order to get the
Right.
nitty gritty of it all. But we talk about your career, what you
Mhm.
want to do in your career or your business,
Mhm.
your education and training, your health, your wellness,
Yep.
your finances, your money goals, and your relationship/family.
And that covers almost everything.
Covers everything.
Right.
Yes.
Whether it's your job, your relationship,
Mhm.
like Cynthia said, your money, your health, because you want to always stay healthy. It covers all of that.
All of
And
that.
it makes you a well-rounded person if you go to them 5 key areas and write down something you want to accomplish in those areas.
Right. And so when you do that, it sets a really strong foundation
Yep.
to have a successful year and to have a successful life. So I want you to just take a moment to think over 2024. What did you do? What did you not do? What did you accomplish? What do you wish you had accomplished?
Mhm.
And did you sit down and write those things down?
Right.
And did you create a plan for them? Like, did you visualize it and then write it down and then think about how you were going to accomplish it?
And that's the key. How am I going to accomplish it? People always say, I want to do this or I want to do that. And you may put that on your vision board, but then you take it a bit further is how am I going to accomplish that? What steps do I have to take to be able to reach that goal? And, Cynthia said it best when she said about the foundation, because we always look at Proverbs 24:3-4, where it says a home, a family,
yeah.
everything is built on that foundation, on that understanding. That's what the word says.
That's right.
So you have to have that solid foundation and not build it on a solid foundation and not say sinking sand, so you can get to where you want to be, so you can do the things you want to do, so you can accomplish things that you want to accomplish.
I get sad sometimes, empathize, I guess I should say, when I see people or talk to people or hear people that talk about their struggle and about how they really want to, most of them just want a lot of money and they think a lot of money is going to solve their problem. But if you're not doing something to build your skills, your knowledge,
That's right.
Your gifts, your talents, you're not doing something to move forward in life. If you're on a job, you're not doing something to get a better job, doing something to make more money, get a second job, get a business on the side. If you're not doing something to move forward, you're always going to stay right where you are. And it saddens me when people, I'm not going to just say live in poverty, but I'm saying the people that I've been around or talked to or just have seen somewhere and they really want more. But you got to do something if you want more. And that's really about planning. It's about having a vision. It's about having a goal. And so when our goal setting parties, the first thing we do is have you look at your core values, and then we have you create a vision for where you want to go. Like, where do you really see yourself by the end of the year? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like, what is it that you really want to accomplish and have in life?
Right. And that is the key about these vision board parties, because, you may have a goal in mind, may have something you want to accomplish, but you maybe just not know, where do I start? How do I get it started? That's what we're here for, to help you plan out them steps to get it started. It's like you need, sometimes you need a mediator, or sometimes you need someone, someone like a sounding board, or someone even to hold you accountable, an accountability partner, just to get you started. Because that's the hardest part of accomplishing things you want to accomplish, is getting started. A lot of people, for example, New Year's resolutions. People say, well, this year I want to get healthier. I'm going to sign up for a gym. I'm going to start working out. Okay. It might be fine the first week or a couple of weeks. Then what? I don't feel like going. I'm too tired to go. I got a lot going on.
I be feeling like that, but I get up and go.
Yeah, you do. I got a lot going on. I got to accomplish this and this and this today. So I really don't have time. And then next thing you know, it falls by the wayside. But when you write it down and you have people that will hold you accountable and you have the steps you need to do it to accomplish that, it makes it so much easier. It makes it so much helpful to help you accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish.
It does. And it's good that you said that, because that's something that we do when we have our vision and goals parties. we don't just have the party and then just leave you alone.
Right.
We follow up with you and send out messages to encourage you and support you so you can keep
Right.
moving forward, so you can keep those goals top of mind, so that you can be encouraged
Right.
and you have some support.
And I was gonna say that's the key, because we'll take pictures of all the boards, so when we can refer back to
Yeah.
them and says where you are with this book. You said you wanted to write a book. Where are you with this? Where are you with the book? And they're like, oh, you remember it? Yeah, that's because we take notes. We
Right.
have notes of what each couples want to accomplish, so we can refer back to them and say, where are you with this? Did you start this? Did you do this? You want to start a business? Did you get your EIN number? We always refer back to that to be able to help you and guide you along.
Right. And when you make plans like that, when you sit down and think about what you want and then write it down, create a strategy, I am telling you, you will see your life elevate immediately, because the Bible doesn't just say things to be said. It says, write the vision down and make it plain. So you've written it down and you can actually see it plainly before you, what you said you want to do or what you were thinking you wanted to do. And now you can see it. And
Yep.
if you can see it, now you can start using that as a motivator and look at it
So
daily
true.
or weekly, so that you can run with it, as the word
Right.
says, as the Bible says. You can run with
Right.
it. You can accomplish it.
And-
You can do it.
Right. And I was gonna say that's why we encourage you to put it up somewhere so you can see it all the time. Because if you can see it and you walk past it all the time, you're like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I should be doing that. I should be doing this. It helps you.
Right. And as one of our favorite pastors say, heard one of our favorite pastors say, Pastor A.R. Bernard, he said, where there is no vision, there is no future.
Right.
And he said, without a vision for your future, you're always living your past or return to your past, or
Right.
you'll keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
If you don't have a vision, if you don't have some goals, if you don't have some passion, you're going to stay right where you are. You're going to always be right where you are. You're going to
Right.
stay in your past.
And you know what? And I like what he said about that, because if you don't have a vision, you'll always go back to your past. And we know some of them people who always say, for example, oh man, I used to rock in high school football. They always want to go back to when they were great at something. And now they may not be going nowhere or doing nothing. So they'll revert back to, well, I remember when I was in high school, I was the man. Well, I used to score all these touchdowns, because they're referring back to when it was their best time. Instead of your best time should be up ahead of you.
That's right. Oh, that's so good. I like that. I like that. All right. Right. So you know what? It's really important that you keep a vision in front of you, because when you stop dreaming, your life just becomes lackadaisical. You're wondering why you're feeling like nothing is happening, nothing's going anywhere. I've heard people say that, oh, it's nothing happening in my life. I'm just so bored. I really need something. I don't know what it is. You gotta have a vision. You gotta have a dream. You gotta have some goals. You gotta have something that you want to do and accomplish in life. It's so super, super, super important.
Exactly, because what vision does is vision provides clarity for your purpose. So if you want to accomplish something, that vision board will provide the clarity that you need to get to that place you want to be. And that's how you get vision, by setting goals.
And so another thing too, when it comes to the word, when you put it in a biblical sense, vision is really thinking about what you want to happen based on what God has called you to do. So sometimes that you have a calling on your life, and we talk about all of these things in our vision board parties. But you have a call in your life, you're not real sure how to get there. But if you're around some people and we're talking about goals and strategies, you're going to start getting more clarity on where you're supposed to go, on what God is really calling you to do, and what your purpose is. And so we want you to reach your milestones. We want to see you get to the finish line. We want to see you get each and every one of your goals that you set out to have. Like we said, we talk about it in 5 key areas, and that is career, and business. If you have a business, what do you want your business to accomplish by the end of the year? Have you set a revenue goal? Do you have a new program that you want to do? Have you figured out a name for it or anything, and
Mhm.
and what you want it to look like in your career. Do you need to make more money? Do you want a new title, a new job, a new
exactly.
a promotion, or go into a whole different
Right.
career?
I was gonna say, do you want to leave that 9 to 5 job and start your own business?
Because when you're in our class, in our workshop, and we're walking around and we're looking at some of the things, or you're sharing with us, you
Right.
know, we give you tips. People in the room gives you tips. It's almost like being in a mastermind when you're in our vision and goals
Right.
workshop party. And then the next one was education. I say education and training. Education doesn't always mean going to school. It could mean getting a certification. It means
Right.
getting some more training. It could mean
Exactly.
getting a mentor and somebody to help get feed you information on what you really
Right.
need. Getting a business strategist,
Right.
whatever that is, hiring somebody. You know, what is it that you need in your
Right. 'Cause
education?
you could be a truck driver, but you don't have a CDL, and maybe you want to get that CDL.
Mhm.
You know, because CDL helps you make more money. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of things that you can do to make your career go further. And it's about sitting down and writing that out, because that's why goals are so important. Because goals, all goals do, they're a part of a plan that promotes fulfillment of your vision. Let me say that again. Goals are a part of a plan that promotes fulfillment of your vision. So if you have a
That's
vision,
good. I like that.
you fulfill that vision by setting goals. Goals promote that.
Absolutely. And so the next one is health and wellness.
There you go.
And I always put spirituality in there too. You know, what are you going to do? Because the Bible says he would that you would prosper even as your soul prosper. Even that he would that you would be in good health even as your soul prospers.
Right.
So as you're building your health, that should be mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So what are those goals in those particular areas? You know, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that James and I, we're fasting. And every year after we fast, we add something new to our diet or to our food plan or to our ways of cooking, to the groceries that we buy, how we buy them, what we buy. You know, we always elevate our something about the way we eat or what we eat every single year. And so I've already been looking at some things that we've done. We've added some new things to I'm sorry, James don't eat it, but I added beets to my diet. So I found that I love roasted beets, you guys. I roasted some beets and I mean, they were just so good. And today I'm actually going to make beet juice. And then I've also added juicing to my life. I've always done smoothies and I've done smoothies all month, but now I'm adding juicing to my life. So I'm excited about that too. So, you know, what are some of your goals? You know, one thing I've learned is that when you want to get healthier, and we don't use, people try not to say lose weight anymore, but most of us, not all of us, want to lose a little bit of weight, right? But when we have these wellness goals, they say, don't try to do it all at once.
Right.
Just add one or two things, or make one or two changes to what you're currently doing.
Because I could say for us, I remember the doctor said we have to get our heart rate up. So what the Cynthia and I did, what did we do? Mm-hmm. We joined a Zumba class.
We sure did. And we started walking.
Right. And we started walking. So these are the things that you can incorporate into your everyday life to help you. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to challenge you. What do you want to incorporate into your life to help to move you forward? And that's what these goals and vision parties are about. Mm-hmm. These vision parties, setting goals, and what are you going to do to set you up for your future?
Yes. And then the last one is relationships and family. So we know of course, with us being marriage coaches, we always want you to look at your relationship,
right,
where you are now and where you would like to see your relationship be, exactly, right? And what's going on in your family dynamics, whether that's with you and the people in your household, your children, whether it's with your parents, your siblings, even with your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers.
Right.
You know, what do you want to see change in those areas?
Right.
We get you thinking really outside of the box.
You could say, you know, I'm in my marriage, or I'm in a relationship, and I want better communication. What are you doing about that? Mm-hmm. Have you wrote down the steps that will help you communicate better.
Right.
Because if you communicate better, the person you're communicating with, they're going to communicate back to you better.
That's right.
So what are you doing about that?
You know, I really don't want to get on this conversation, but so many times, I love the way you stated that, because so many times we looking at for our spouse or our partner to change the way they
communicate.
Act, the way
Right.
they
talk
communicate
to
and talk to you,
Mhm.
but we're not looking at how we're communicating and talking. So
them.
many times we've coached couples, and if I'm walking around with an attitude because you said something to me 2 weeks ago that teed me off, so now I've got this stank attitude, I'm moody, I don't talk nice to you,
Right.
but then I'm wondering why you're not talking nice to me,
Right.
but I've got a stank attitude. The Bible says you're to examine yourself daily.
That's right.
Examine you. Yes,
That's right.
you might feel you have a reason to have a stank attitude, but when we screw up, did Jesus have a stank attitude with us?
Right. Because you could say that, well, they said something to me that was inappropriate. So what started that? Did you say something first?
Well,
You have to go back and look at all of that. You got to look at how the conversation started and where the conversation might have went left
mhm.
and what may have caused that conversation to go left. It's about, like Cindy said, reflecting, because God said he may take you to reflect on your past to bring you to your future. So there's
Ooh.
times when you have to look back. God will make you look back. What started it? So he could propel you to your future to make sure you maybe have better communication.
That's so good. And y'all, communication is the key.
Yes. Talk
It
about
really
everything.
is. And sometimes just being quiet is the communication.
Right.
Communication doesn't always mean saying something
That's right.
or doing
What
something.
do we always say? Sometimes communication can be effective listening. Not listening just to hear, but listening to understand. Understand where the person's coming from that you're communicating with. Understand what the person may be going through that you're communicating with. You know, that's the thing. Listen to understand, not just to hear.
Yes. So you guys, we just wanted to jump on here and give you a few tips on how to sit down, write out your goals,
Mhm.
plan your goals, have some strategies, and start taking some steps towards a better future.
Right.
That's
And we have
all
a
it
party
is.
coming up.
We should
correct?
never stay exactly where we are. We
That's
should
right.
always be moving forward in life, in our relationships, in our money, in our health,
Because
in our spirituality, our
You think-
spiritual walk.
everything evolves
Yes.
and people evolve. So what are you doing to evolve with everyone else? What are you doing to evolve with yourself? Because just like we always say that, like maybe before you didn't like Brussels sprouts, but you like them now. If they're
Brussels
roast.
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. You may not have liked them growing up, but you may
Right.
like them now because they were maybe cooked differently
That's
now.
right. That was both of us.
Right.
My mother my mother never really cooked them, but when I did
Mama
have
used
them,
to
they were boiled.
Right.
And
now you
they
roast
were
them.
bitter and
So-
but not everybody
Right.
roasts them.
So as time goes on, people evolve.
yes.
So you have to evolve.
Yes.
Maybe some of the things you didn't like, you like now. Maybe some things you liked before, you don't like now.
That's right.
So you have to change with it.
right.
And what does that mean? That means thinking out your life, like you said, for the next year, the next 5 years. What do you want to do differently?
Yep.
How do you want things to change?
True.
That's why we have these vision and goal parties
Right.
to help you change what you want to change and to help you get to where you want to be.
So this coming Friday night, here in the Waldorf area, we're having an in-person Vision and Goals
There you
party. We have limited spots, you guys. It is for couples, but if you're single and you really want to go to a vision board party, especially one that's effective, then we want you to come out. The other thing too, we actually give you a workbook that you can take home with you, a workbook that's going to help you to actually write out your goals. And then also, we use that workbook to write out our goals, and then you create your vision board party. So we have a strategy, we have a step, a process, even in our workshops.
And I was going to say, like Cynthia said, even if you're single, because you can be single and part of your relationship goals is to be in a relationship. But what are you doing about that? Are you open? Are you friendly?
Yeah.
You know, do you accept, you know, if someone comes up to you and gives you a comment or something, do you take offense to it? There's things you may have to do. That's why it's so key for even single people, because maybe, you know, I'm in a relationship and I want to be married. Maybe I've been dating the same person for 3 years, 5 years, but now it's time to get married.
10 years, 20
Right, but
years.
now it's time to get married. But what are you doing about that? That's why we have vision and goal parties, even for single people.
Right. So just we put the link up here. I will put the link in the notes on my page, and I will post and share the page. But come out. This is a chance. We don't do them in person that often. I guess
right.
COVID made us kind of lazy, because back before COVID, they were always in person. But the creative thing about it is that we may offer it online too at the same time. We'll have to see if we really want to set that up, because that can be a little cumbersome. But anyway, get your tickets. It's only $25 per person. And we're going to have some good snacks and light refreshments for you guys. And we have good music, and we have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So get your tickets. Come out next Friday, 6:30 here in the Waldorf area. You'll get the address once you register, and we will see you there. If you have any questions, reach out to us at info@marriagebuilttolast.com. That's the number 2, marriagebuilttolast.com. And we'll see you next Saturday. Well, no, we'll be actually at a funeral next Saturday, so we won't be live next Saturday. But we'll see you sometime in February. We'll definitely see you for around Valentine's Day. God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you guys.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.